Welcome to my tag of the day. Today I'm going to be using Stampers Anonymous Crazy Dogs and Crazy Things and the coordinating Sizzix Framelit dies and my Big Shot machine. The stamps were pre-done and pre-colored. I used distress crayons to color them. This is my one of my travel crafts. I will stamp a bunch of images in a mixed media notebook and color while I'm on vacation. So these were all pre-colored, just not cut out yet. So we're going to cut these out. Make sure you sandwich your dies in between the two plates, and then just repeat the process over and over. There's great videos on how to use the die cut machine if you haven't seen those before. I'm going to use the mixed media Heavystock tags and distress Oxide from Tim Holtz. This is squeezed lemonade. I'm going to distress starting off the tag onto the tag, spin the tag around to help give you an even color. I spritz some water and dab off the water and it pulls off some of the ink, and then I heat set. It just gives it a different texture along the back. I'm going to use a stencil with the same color just so I can have a little bit of texture, a little bit of interest to the back, and then I heat set it. I didn't really like that. I wanted more contrast, so I grabbed mustard seed oxide and I'm using the same stencil. Just tried to line it up a little. Wasn't too concerned if it didn't line up exactly, but then just go over it again and heat set to dry the ink. Now I'm going to place all of the pieces that I want to use for this tag just so I can get placement on how high the dog should be, how high the balloons should be, how many balloons I can use, that kind of thing. So just place them all down and see what you like. I did grab some foam dots. I'm going to use those to pop up a couple of the items so that gives it a little bit more dimension. And then I started adhering down the pieces. I am using art glitter glue with the metal precision tip applicator. It helps with all the fine little details, getting in the legs and the tail and that kind of thing. That is my glue of choice, so I do use that often. So make sure they're stuck down. For the hat, I'm going to use the smallest foam dots I have. I do need to cut one because it's too big to go into the little tassel on the top. So I just snip off a little edge and stick it in. This will give it a little pop-up feature in there. And I start to adhere the balloons, and I did realize that I forgot the string. This stamp set comes with the little string that you can add, but I already glued the dog down. So lining it up, I could see that if I just stamped it, the string would go over the dog, and I didn't want that. So I'm just using a Post-it, that's what I had on my desk, to stamp the string, and the overage will go right onto the Post-it. For the next one, I'm just not going to stamp as much on the string, on the stamp, not as much ink. You see I wiped some of that off. Same with the third. Just a little bit of ink at the top of the stamp so I don't have too much overage. And then the final balloon and one more stamp. I do use a Sharpie to create a little string to make it look like a bow, as though they're all tied together. I did realize just then that I wanted to pop up the closest balloon in the set, so I just kind of peeled it off. Didn't add too much glue to it initially, so it was able to come off, and then just re-adhere it down. I'm going to use Crazy Talk Sentiments. I'm going to stamp in black archival and just add a little happy birthday sentiment to the bottom. And there we go. For more of my Tag of the Day videos, please visit me on YouTube. I do have a playlist. Each tag has 2 videos. One is a process video like this, and the other is a short reel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Happy crafting.